Everybody, it's Tommy Anderson, and I wanted to show you my next project. I decided I'm going to start working on some of my vintage Aurora World War I fighter planes from their famous fighter series. The first one is the Sopwith Triplane, and it was part of the #1 Naval Squadron of the Royal Naval Air Service in World War I, flown by Commander Raymond Collishaw of Canada. He commanded a squadron called the Black Flight, all Canadian flyers, and they were aces. So follow me on this build and we'll enjoy it. Here are a couple of pictures from my artwork I did of this plane before I started to build this. Yeah, let me see. I think I'm going to start, and I'm going to do this vintage Aurora Sopwith Camel triplane, or not a Sopwith Camel, it's a Sopwith triplane. The Black Maria, which was flown by a Canadian World War I ace with the Royal Navy. Let me see. Oh, the decals do not look bad in this old kit. Wow. A little bit of yellowing, but I think I can clean that up. This kit was from it was 1963. Wow, pretty intricate parts. Look at this. Very, very cool. I think normally I would paint this, but there's just something about this old Aurora kits, and it's all black. I'm going to keep it in its natural finish, and I will just do the highlights that I think should be painted. But otherwise, this is going to be fun. This is going to be an easy one to do, and I'm going to enjoy doing it. It's like, I think I'll have to check. I'm not sure if the supports were wood. I think they were wood, so I would probably paint those. But otherwise, the whole aircraft was black. It was part of a Royal Navy squadron, which was called the Black Flight, all Canadian pilots. So it's pretty cool. It really is cool. So let's follow along and see what I do here. Oh, let's see here. Alright, the engine. Let's take a look at this engine panel. There we go. Let's get these parts off. Get the radial engine here. Maybe add a little light to this. Okay, then there's this part of the engine. Let's see what we got here. We got the prop. And then we got the propeller pin. I'm just curious. It says to glue. I don't know, maybe you don't have to. Well, I think they have it set up so you glue the engine to the pin, you put the prop on. Maybe I'll put the prop on. And when you spin the prop, the whole engine rotates, because back in the day in these World War I biplanes, the whole radial engine spun. And I like this in this Aurora kit. You can do it in this also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the engine to make it look like it's been used. I'm going to paint the propeller, which they were wood propellers with a steel hub, and start working on this. One thing I want to say that I have gotten, which really helps, and I've gotten quite a few of these, is I picked up these acrylic paint pens. Got them off of Amazon. They're really not super expensive, but you can get the military colors. You can get them for armor. I've got all different types. They go on without any brush strokes. They look amazing when you're done. In fact, I'm using it now to paint my pilots with, because the range of acrylics that I have, I don't have to mix anything or do anything. They're super fast drying, and it's some of the best pilots I have painted. Well, I'm about ready to put this together. Painted the prop brown with a steel hub. Did up the engine. I did the back of the engine compartment with this metallic steel, and so I'll get her put together. One thing I want to mention about using these paint sticks, even though they work really well, is you still have to primer them. The paint adheres really well to the primer, and I use Tamiya gray primer. I know some people like the white, some people like the black. Actually, this is the only one I can get in town here, so this is what I use. So if you don't, you have to keep on covering and covering and covering and covering this. In fact, I'm going to touch this one up just a little bit more. So, alright, I did some work on the engine using the pens. I think it looks pretty good. In fact, you can probably see I'm going to have to touch this one up just a little bit more. I should have primered this part. I forgot to, and I didn't want to go over it and just spray this, because I figured it's in back of the cowling, you know, it's not going to make a big difference. And honestly, you probably won't even see it. I guess you won't. Might even make it look dirtier. But it's just a good point, is you still have to primer your parts. Otherwise, you get a really bad adherence to the plastic. Well, I had something that came up that I didn't quite expect. You know, I thought that this was like one of the advanced ones. I think Academy does it with one of their World War I planes that actually has the radial engine spin with the propeller. This doesn't. This actually, you're supposed to glue the radial engine to the back of the cowling, stick this in, and then just the propeller spins. Well, I wanted to make it more realistic, so I created a washer out of a little piece of an envelope. Then I will just slide this on there like it's supposed to. I will glue the prop on, and then it'll work like I want it to work. So I just thought I'd show that little thing that I did. Comes back to my old scratch building and trying to figure out stuff's background. So, in fact, what the hell? We'll just put this on there right now. I'm just going to use a little dab of the Tamiya liquid cement. We need to hear the prop. And there it goes. And it can glue to the radial engine because, like I said, the whole thing spins. You know, it's quite a concept. I've watched videos of them. I've seen some of the actual planes, you know, flying at air shows, but I've never saw them start them. And I guess someday I want to be able to do that. But anyhow, I'm going to move forward. Now I'm going to install or put together the interior cockpit. I primered everything so I can paint the interior components. I'll paint the wing struts, and then I will you know, let it dry and start to assemble. Here's my rotating radial engine. Look at that. I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, okay, I've got my wing supports, struts done. I did the black cleats where it mounts into the wing. Did the instrument panel. I did my interior cockpit, the seats. Get that together. What else did I do? Oh, the control yoke, control stick. Got that done, and I also did everything's so black. Oh, I did the machine gun in gunmetal. So can't wait to start putting this together and see how she looks. One thing I'm going to do when it's all done is I'm going to dull coat it all to take the sheen away from the plastic and the other parts, and then I'll apply the decals. It should also help these older decals apply a lot easier, because I mean, how old are these? 80 years old, something like that. Yeah, let's clean this up a little bit before I start putting it together. Get some of these attachment points. I really haven't seen any flash on this kit at all. It's probably because it's, original, from the original molds at the original time. But I mean, everything looks really smooth on it. Yeah, let's see, just get this cleaned up here. I want the bottom wing to not have any problems mounting. Very cool. Now it looks really good. Wow. Can't wait to start getting it together. So let me start assembling it and I'll bring you back. Alright. It's coming together. I used a combination of the Tamiya liquid glue and actually the testers too. I find that really helps for some spots, like when I did the inside the canopy, or not canopy, the instrument panel, and that I wanted to have the extra drying time. So it's looking pretty good here. Get the sides together. I'll get it glued, and then I am going to I'll clamp it off, let it dry. And look at that. I am really liking this. It's got the molded in roundels that the kit companies, especially Aurora, used to do back in the day. But once I get it together, clamped down, glued, I will put the machine gun on, and then I'll start working on the other parts of the aircraft. And as I adhere that little bit of the tester's glue right there, put this on. Needing glasses is a terrible thing, let me tell you. Okay, it's in the holes, so I'll just let it set up and dry. And you have the good and the bad with both ways of doing it. You still can get a little bit of over glue. I'll have to clean that up afterwards, after this all sets up. Okay, I'm going to work on the wings. One thing I should have mentioned when I said that I like using the tester is tube glue sometimes, especially since I'm going to just use a natural plastic finish on this, is I can put the glue exactly where I want it. It doesn't set up right away, and it won't leave or discolor the plastic. I made that mistake a little bit on the fuselage, but as we say in the movie business, I'll fix it in post. I'll be able to buff it out a little bit, and with the dull coat you won't notice it's there, but it's just one extra thing I have to do that I wouldn't normally have to do. I got the bottom wing on. I'm going to let it dry. Next thing is you're going to put the struts on. Wing struts. The wing struts go into the middle wings first. That's easy enough to do. Very cool. It's coming together. Well, I got her done. I tell you, I forgot how hard doing this tri-wing is. I struggled with it and struggled with it. Finally got it to work because you can't really clamp them. So I used a combination of Tamiya masking tape around them and gave it a good 24 hours to dry. And I think it's as good as it's going to be. I'm going to dull coat it now, and then I'm going to apply the decals. So we'll see what it looks like in the near future. Well, it's done. I really like how it turned out. I like my paint job on the pilot. I took the little Sopwith Sopwith Triplane button they had in there and put it on the base. I like how it turned out. Just really. But I've got a bunch of stills I took that I'll put on here. But I am very happy with. I'm very happy with it. So everybody, have a great day and watch for my next build.